Hey guys, this video is going to be a video response to Tia, and I'm going to leave the link to her video in the description. Basically, it's just going to be my Avatar story, like how I became a fan and all of that. So I actually got into Avatar like right around when it originally aired, and I was 11 when the show originally aired, and I think it was the second day, like the day after it originally aired for the first time. They were showing reruns of the first two episodes, which aired together, and it was like a Saturday morning, and we were like flipping through channels and came across it. I don't know why exactly we watched it, because at 11 I went through like phases with which channels I watched the most as a kid, and as a really young kid I always watched Nick Jr. at home, and then at my grandparents' house watched Disney. But then when I got older and I kind of stopped watching Nickelodeon altogether, and I like only watched Disney, but my brother watched Nickelodeon a lot, and so I figure we were probably watching Nickelodeon because of my brother, but I'm not really sure on that because I can't really remember. But basically Avatar was on, I started watching it. I have very vivid memories, like not of watching the entire episodes, but I have like little bits that I can remember really well about watching the episode for the first time and just like loving it, and I immediately knew that I was going to watch the entire show. So from that point on, I was watching Avatar. However, I was not involved in the fandom at that point, which is actually really interesting because 11 is the same age that I started getting into the Harry Potter fandom, which is my first fandom, and I was obsessed with the Harry Potter fandom as a whole at that age, but for some reason it never occurred to me to find an Avatar fandom. It's really weird because now, today, I'm involved in so many fandoms, but for years I was only in the Harry Potter fandom, and I like kind of knew that other fandoms existed, but I never really thought to seek them out. I guess Harry Potter filled all of my fandom needs for a while or something, I don't know. But then when season 3 was airing, there was a Harry Potter forum that I belonged to that had a section for other TV shows, and I found a group of Avatar fans on there. So my first exposure to the Avatar fandom was actually through the Harry Potter fandom, which I can say that about a lot of things actually. It's really weird how most of my major fandoms were introduced to me through Harry Potter. But I'd been watching Avatar for years and I never really had anyone to talk to it about. Like, my family kind of watched it with me, but they weren't big fans, and just like suddenly I realized that there were people out there who were watching Avatar too. It wasn't just like a random Nickelodeon cartoon that like no one really cared about, and it kind of validated things for me because I was 14 at that time, I think. It is weird because that was actually a really long time ago, but I think I was about 14 and I was getting ready to go into high school when season 3 was airing, and so to find other people, and some of them who were older than me, who also liked this cartoon on Nickelodeon, felt really awesome, and I could talk to them about it and have like discussions on this Harry Potter forum, and I got really into it, and so I wanted to look into like more of the Avatar fandom. So Avatar was basically the second fandom that I like really joined, and I became obsessed with everything. Fan fiction, for instance, I was obsessed with from the time I joined the Harry Potter fandom when I was 11. I like read it constantly, but for a while it was only Harry Potter fan fiction, and then I started getting into Avatar fan fiction, and I actually started writing Harry Potter fan fiction at a pretty young age. I think I was about 13 when I wrote my first Harry Potter fan fiction, but I never finished it. I started 2 Harry Potter fan fictions as a kid that I never finished, and then started an Avatar fanfiction when I got into Avatar fanfiction, and it took me like 3 years, but I finally finished that fanfiction, and so it was the first fanfiction that I ever actually stuck with and was able to finish, and I was really proud of myself. And looking back on it now, the story wasn't all that great. I like could have made a much better plot and everything, but I went back and read it like a month ago. I was looking at some stuff and I was actually kind of impressed with myself because I read the very beginning chapters that I wrote when I was like 14 or 15. I think I was 14 when I wrote that, like right when season 3 ended, and like I said, the story, I could have executed things much better, but I was really impressed with my writing, but that's not really important. Yeah, so it was the first fanfiction that I actually finished writing, and so I kind of feel as if that's significant because I want to be a writer and everything, and it was the first, not even just fanfiction, but first thing that I finished writing that wasn't for school, like fiction-wise, and the longest thing I had written at that point, and so I think that's kind of significant. And fanfiction is pretty much my like main contribution to fandoms. You know how like a lot of people, I don't know, like there are cosplayers and there are fan art people and there are fanfiction people and everything, and I don't really do any of that other than fanfiction. So yeah, but I also watched a ton of Avatar fan videos. I don't do it as much anymore, I think because they're not really made as much anymore, especially with the like first series, because it's been out so long and it's the same stuff, and I'm sure I could find people who make Korra videos, but I've just never really thought about it. But like fanfiction has always been my like main way, because I tried making a fan video for Harry Potter once and that was just horrible, and so I never tried that again. But and I can't draw or anything, so I just write fanfiction. But I also listen to a bunch of Harry Potter. I also listen to Avatar podcast, which none of them like air as much as they used to, but I still listen to those, and just I've gotten really involved in the Avatar fandom compared to how I was for years not even watching the show and not even being involved. It kind of sucks that I got involved when season 3 was airing and everything was like dying down. That's one of the things I love about Korra so much, is the fact that I've been there from the beginning, like involved in the fandom and seen everything. It's just really great because like shipping wise, I got to see like the ships were forming before the show even aired. But like with Avatar, I shipped Katang from the beginning, even though I wasn't like in the fandom, but I never really experienced like the shipping wars for Avatar, because I came in late in season 3 when it wasn't like, it was still kind of intense. I remember when the trailers aired and people were freaking out about Zutara, but I didn't get to be there from the beginning, and I did with Korra, and that was really awesome, and I really enjoy that. But I've rambled for a really long time, so I'm going to shut up now, and I will see you guys later. Bye.